Okay, friends, we're starting out laying down so that we can kind of ground. We'll start as low as we can go. And of course, the first order of business at the beginning of the practice is just to find your breath. So find your breath, notice what it's like, notice the depth and the length, the temperature of the breath, all those things. And since you're laying down and there's really no effort that you really need to expend to hold yourself in this posture because the floor is doing everything for you, then you can really focus all of your awareness on simply deepening your breath and making the most effective and expansive and cleansing breath you can. So breathing through your nose, on your inhales, try to take in as much air as possible. Like you are inviting in all of the new, fresh potential that you can. Okay, clean, fresh air into your lungs. I want you to feel a little bit of expansion across your chest here and even in your back body. So like you're making more space for yourself. And with your exhales, I want to clean all that air out. Just get it out. Let it go. Belly button presses into your spine. Even the sides and the back of your belly press inward. Squeeze that air out. So we'll just lay here and we'll take several rounds of that big, big breath. Cleansing, fresh inhale. Letting go of old, stale vibes on the exhale. Everything, anything, let it go. Okay, and you can really use your imagination here. Finding maybe parts of your body that you feel stuck or tense. Imagine breathing into and out of those places. And while you're laying here breathing, I'll just give you some options for arranging your arms and legs. So if you're one who's feeling tight in your hips today, try putting your feet together with your knees bent and dropping your knees away from each other, like a diamond shape, okay? And this will get you some spaciousness on your inner thigh. Might feel good. On the flip side of that, if your low back is feeling kind of tense, let's say you've been sitting in a desk a lot lately, sound familiar? Okay, you might take your feet away from each other and knock your knees together to make a tent. And hopefully you'll feel that this can kind of neutralize and help release your low back. Okay. Having brought your attention first to your breath and then to your body, let's bring awareness to another aspect of yourself on the mat, and that is your mental climate, thoughts and emotions. How are they right now? What do you notice in your mind? Maybe use your breath to bring in some fresh energy, some fresh good vibes into your thoughts and emotions. And also use your exhales to let go of any stale thoughts and emotions that might be holding you back. You can make that choice to let go of certain thought patterns. And as you're ready, we'll bring in some gentle movement. Okay. So if your legs are long and straight, go ahead and bend them so that your knees point up. And then we'll take our feet kind of wide. Okay. If you have a mat, I'd say take your feet even off the mat. Okay. And we'll drop our knees side to side. So here we're just gently waking up our hips. And we can think of this being very passive, kind of dropping the knees, letting gravity pull them down. Okay, and this is one of my favorite ways to wake up the hips because it's so gentle. And sometimes our hips really need that kind of gentleness. They don't always respond well to forcefulness or overzealous movement when they're tight. So this is a great opportunity to just notice how your hips and your low back, especially, are feeling today. Do you feel some resistance there? Do you feel some tension? Or are you feeling great? As the tissues begin to warm up and the joint gets a little more lubricated and soft, you can maybe deepen this movement by actively moving the knees down. But remember, on the mat, it should always feel good. We should never have bad, hurt feelings on the mat. We always want to back away from pain and move toward a good time. Right. Really activating those hips now, inner and outer hip, getting some nice movement, the low back, getting a great massage. And you may hear some crackles and pops, and that is okay as long as it feels good. Just moving synovial fluid around, crunching out mineral deposits in that joint. All right, next time your knees point up, let's pause there for a moment, okay? And we'll hover the knees just above your hips. So make about a right angle with your legs, okay? Knees are just over the hips, and you can peel your head and shoulders up off the mat. So just a little bit of core work here just to get your low back to release, okay? If we strengthen the front body, then the back body can let go a little bit. So you can have your hands reaching forward if that's more appropriate for you. If you like more of a challenge, you can reach your hands back. And we're just going to extend one leg and bring it back in. Extend the other leg and bring it back in. So you can already feel your core activating. You can always bring your head and shoulders down if this is too much. You always have that option to kind of back out. But I would just like to take a few more rounds here, maybe 3 on each side. Remember to breathe. 2 more on each side. Last one. Very nice. Go ahead and let that go. We'll tuck our hands behind the knees, and we'll take some gentle rocks and rolls up and down. Come on up and down a few times. Okay, find a little back massage moment here. Very gentle. Okay, next time you come up, see if you can balance here. Just a moment or 2 in your boat pose. Remember, you can drop your fingers and toes in front and behind you. Or if that's fine, you can grab onto your knees. Let's take 3 more breaths here. If this is totally fine and you want a little bit more, you can extend your knees. 2 more breaths. For your last breath, maybe reach your hands up in the direction of your feet. And we're letting it go, friends. Go ahead and drop your feet. And let's point our knees out to the right. Okay, drop your knees over to the right. And I'll turn to face you so that you can see where we're headed. So we'll take a little mermaid posture. Okay, it's kind of like a little mermaid sitting on a rock. So your left toes, just point them directly behind you. And your right toes, just tickle your left knee. So when you look down, you see a little triangle. And it's okay if your left hip is off the ground. That's not a problem. We'll just start to bring a little movement to the side body, okay? So very nice and slow. We're pressing into the floor with that right hand, lifting hips. That left arm can come up overhead. Once you just stretch open that left side, come down as you exhale and switch sides. This time the hips stay down. Right arm overhead, big breath in. Exhale to bring it down. Can we do that several more times on each side? I want you to really take it slow. We're not trying to go really fast here. We just want to bring a little bit more openness and spaciousness into the side body. So use your breath. Inhale, open it up. Exhale, ground it. As you move, keep your neck nice and long. Okay. Notice if it tends to get swallowed up by your shoulders, and just work to keep it more of a giraffe neck than a turtleneck. Maybe a couple more times on each side. Feels good. And one more on each side. Okay, next time you're grounded, we'll transition to a supported side plank. So leaning over to the right a little bit, we can extend the left leg and put the outer edge of the left foot on the floor. So it actually feels nice in your ankle if you go ahead and ground that foot right now. And then we'll use what we have on the floor to come up. Now, one thing we really need to make sure of is that we move this right knee. We need to replace it and put it under the right hip. Isn't that so much more supportive? And those right toes can point out behind you. And magically, you're in a little supported side plank. Okay, very relaxed posture. Make sure the bottom elbow is soft, so the right elbow has a little bend in it. And we'll start to open up this left shoulder. Before we do that, we need to activate the left shoulder. So really plug it into your shoulder, suck it. Okay, you want all the muscles that wrap around that joint active. Even your fingers are active. And let's circle it out nice and slowly, please. Just like we warmed and opened our hips by gently moving them, we need to warm and open this shoulder with some gentle movement. So nothing crazy. Breathe deeply as you move this around. Extra space is what we're looking for. Let's rewind that. Maybe push through the heel of your palm this time, just to open up your wrist and your forearm. Okay, next time you're reaching up, pause right here, okay? I want you to activate your core a little bit. So wrap the belly button into your spine, okay? Feel strong in your middle. And we'll come up on the right fingertips. And then I want you to hover your right fingertips just off the floor for a breath or two, feeling that core engagement. And then as you're ready, let that core engagement bring your upper body all the way up over your hips. And we're going to keep going, but before we go, we need to rearrange this left foot. So pick up your left toes and point them all the way out to the left. Do put them on the floor, please. Probably going to want to bend that left knee a little bit. Even if you don't have to, put a little micro bend. Let's keep going. No rush. We're taking several breaths to reach out to the left. Notice how this feels in the back of your left leg, maybe. Inner left thigh. Keep breathing. Keep reaching. Reach, reach, reach. Maybe one more breath as you reach. Okay, so you're going to want to find somewhere to grab your left leg. It could even just be your left hip. Okay, you can come all the way up if it's a little too much. Maybe it's the shin. Anything but the knee, okay? Just don't press down on your knee joint. Grab a hold, and let's get the right arm up. So now we're feeling, again, some big expansion in the right side. And we're going to breathe here and take a little time. We're all going to be different here, so I'll offer you some options. If you're feeling pretty good here, press into that right knee. Really press down into it. Feel your right hip flexor and maybe even your low back and outer hip let go. Okay, lengthening a little bit. Make sure you have a long neck as you press into that right knee. And as long as your belly button is wrapping into your spine, you might press your hips forward a little bit and reach that right arm more to the left. Breathe here. You can even slide your left hand down as long as that's appropriate. Press into the right knee, pull that belly button in. Parigasana is where you are, gate pose. You can think of opening your side body up like a big gate. Okay, should feel good. Maybe one more big breath in here. And we'll come out slowly, just as slowly as we came in, okay? Core control pulls your upper body back up over your hips. Core control sends you reaching out to the right slowly. Slowly. Take your time. Slowly. And then the right fingers are coming down here. Go ahead and drop your hips. And we'll swing the legs around front and switch sides. So now all the toes are pointed out to the right and your knees are more to the left. So we'll set up a mermaid posture on this side as well. The right toes will point directly behind you. Left toes will tickle the right knee. You see that little triangle? And let's get into that little side bendy movement here. So left hand down, hips come up, right arm sweeps a huge arc overhead as you inhale. And exhale to bring it down. Switch sides, hips stay down, big breath in. Left side expands. And exhale, bring it down. Keep it going, okay? Just inviting in some warmth. This is a really nice one to close your eyes. Okay, there's no danger of falling here. Not a whole lot of balancing to do. It's safe just to exist and move with your eyes closed. Maybe 2 more rounds on each side. You want to feel like you have extra space to breathe into now after opening up your rib cage and your low back like this. The hip flexors, maybe letting go. All right, next time you come down, we'll transition into that supported side plank. So lean over to the left a little bit. Make sure the left elbow is bent and not locked, please. And we'll extend that right leg. Go ahead and put the outer edge of the right foot on the floor. Feels good in your ankle. Okay, nice release. And we'll press up. We need to move this left knee. So pick it up, put it under your left hip, point the toes back. So much better. Take a little time to fidget, make it right. And then we'll activate that right shoulder. So big activation, all wrapping around the shoulder joint. Even your fingers are active. And let's circle out the shoulder. Keep the breath moving into and out of your ribs, into and out of your low back, your chest. Let's rewind it. Maybe push through the palms. You get a great stretch in your wrist. Okay, next time you're reaching up, let's pause there and get a little core activation going. So belly button into spine, please. Just a little activity. And we're going to come up on the left fingertips and then use your strong core to hover the left fingers off the floor for a breath or two. Just feel that activation. As you're ready, use that core strength to lift your upper body above your lower body. Pause here. We need to reorient that right foot. So pick up your right toes, point them to the right and put them down. Slight bend in your right knee. Now let's keep going. Take several breaths, reaching out. Just get as long as you can. Reach as far as you can. Feel the left side, outer hip and low back maybe beginning to open up. Right. When you're ready, grab the right leg anywhere but the knee. Even your right hip is great. Some of you are going to want to put your fingers on the floor. No problem. Okay. Find your spot that you want to be in and settle in. And we'll play around a little bit with some possibilities. So if all is going well, press into that left knee. Push the left knee into the floor. Feel your hip flexor talking to you, okay? Maybe outer hip, low back, who knows? As the knee presses down, pull your belly button in and move your hips forward. That left arm can reach more to the right. Big breath, really peeling open that left side, maybe even reaching to the right further. You can think of sliding that hand down, but we're still looking out to the left. Nice breath. Push that knee down. Should feel really nice. Okay. Maybe one more breath here. And take your time coming out, okay? Coming out just as slowly as you came in. Reaching out with that left hand, core control, belly button still moving into spine. Nice and slow. All right, finally that left hand comes down. Let's transition to hands and knees. So the right hand can come down too, right knee can come down. And here we are. Hands and knees. Let's take a few cat-cows. Heart moves forward on the inhale. Push the floor away on the exhale. Drop your head here. It should feel good to shake it out a little bit. Heart moves forward. Inhale. Push the floor. Exhale. Keep it going. Just the pace of your breath. Nice and slow. Maybe close your eyes here. Okay, get a little bit of lateral rotation, okay, lateral flexion. So move it side to side a little bit. I like to think of it as kind of a jump rope movement with your spine, if your spine was a long jump rope. And then let's bring it up to just a normal little flat back, and then tuck your toes. Let's find a down dog just for a moment. And this doesn't have to be a textbook down dog by any means. Just walking out your heels. We're just looking to open up the backs of the legs a little bit. So take a moment here just to walk it out and breathe. Notice how the backs of the legs are feeling. Pay special attention to how your calves are feeling, to how your hamstrings are doing. Okay, they're going to talk to you a little bit here. And then we'll bring it back down to hands and knees. So come on down. And let's take this right knee, pick it up, and circle out this hip. So big movement in the hip. We can keep the hips level at first, keeping that right hip level with the left. Even though it's tempting to lift it up, let's just see how we do with it level. And let's rewind that a few times. Now let's pick up the right hip, stack it on the left, make it a big, ridiculous circle. And rewind that. Okay, next time the right knee comes forward, go and drop the right foot outside your right hand. And we'll start to get the legs to open up and let go a little more. So let's rock forward and back a few times. Forward and back with the hips. So this is option A with the back knee on the floor. Okay, this would be a more gentle, grounded option. If you want a little more, I'd say start to flex your right foot when you pull back, so you get into that right calf. You can keep a bend in the knee, but I'd say really flex that foot so you get that calf opening. And for even more, you can tuck the back toes, that's the left toes, lift the left knee, and you just get a little more space to move here. So pick your flavor. Beginning to really hear from that hamstring, that right hamstring. It should be talking to you big time. Okay, let's come back into a lunge here. And we're just going to kind of be in this lunge for a little while. But we do want some activation between the legs, right? So we do want the two knees moving toward each other. Even if it's just a little bit of activity, do yourself a favor and activate those inner thighs, okay? Pulling in toward the midline. So we'll get the right hand up with that leg activation still happening. Big breath in as you peel open your front body and reach up with the right hand. As you exhale, send that right hand under the left arm, like you're trying to reach way out to the left. You might even bend your left elbow so that you can go a little further. Let's do that again. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, reach under. Again, big breath in, come on up. Big twist, big chest. Exhale, reach under. One more time, big breath in, coming up. And let's hold here and just breathe, okay? If it's too much, you can drop the top hand to your right knee or to the floor. You can just take it easy. If you like this, if you're feeling good, you might spice it up a little bit by tucking your back toes, that's the left toes, and hovering the left knee off the floor. We want a strong left leg if we're doing that, okay? Could we get the hips a little bit lower? Could we send the knees a little bit more strongly toward each other? And make sure that bottom elbow, that left elbow, is soft. So you could bend it right now if you wanted to. As you're ready, we'll bring that left knee down if it was up. And we'll bring that right hand down if it was up. And we'll bring it back to hands and knees. Let's take another down dog from here. Okay. Mostly just to feel out the legs. So walk the heels out. Let's pay attention to the backs of the legs. Right leg versus left. What's the difference? Maybe noticing a little bit more warmth in the back of the right leg. Calf, hamstring, hip, glute, who knows? And then let's bring it back down to hands and knees. Left knee up this time. Keep the hips level. Let's circle it out. Circle it the other way. Notice how limited we are if we don't lift the hip, okay? And notice what really has to work if we don't lift the hip. Okay, now let the hip come up. Lift that left hip. Stack it on top of the right. Big, silly circle. And let's rewind that. And the next time the left knee moves forward, let's drop the left foot by that left hand. And we'll start to rock hips forward and back. Again, we could keep the left foot grounded and just keep this, and keep the right knee grounded also, and just keep this really gentle. But chances are you're feeling that left hamstring talking. Okay, make sure to listen carefully to your hamstrings, always, now and always. You want a little more, start to flex that left foot when you pull back. The calf opens up. And you want even more, you can tuck the right toes, hover the right knee. Okay, as you're ready, sink down into this lunge. Okay, the back knee comes down if it was up. And maybe you even move the back knee back a little bit. It's really up to you. But put some activity between those knees. So even if you're in kind of resting, gentle practice mode today, I still want to encourage you to put some activity, even if it's just 1 or 2% activity between your knees. You'll get the most from your practice that way. And let's get the left hand up. We can take a big breath in, expanding your huge chest. And exhale. Reach that left hand under your right. Go ahead and bend the right elbow so you can reach even further. A couple more times like that. Inhaling, coming up. Exhaling, come on down. Again, big breath in. Again, big exhale. Let's do one more and we'll hang out up there a little bit. Come on up, reach up and hold. Okay, here we are. If this is too much, we can drop the left hand to the left knee or the floor. If we want to spice it up, we can tuck the right toes, hover the right knee. Okay, wherever you are, keep a softly bent right elbow. Keep that activity between your legs and remember to breathe. Where can you relax into this posture? Your face? How's your jaw? Are your eyebrows squinching? Maybe one more big breath in here. And let's come on down. We'll drop the back knee if it was up. Drop that top hand. Let's come back to hands and knees. And let's try out a down dog. See how it feels. Okay, walk it out. How are the calves and hamstrings feeling now? As you're ready, walk to your hands. You can bend your knees really deeply here. And let's take just a really nice fold. We can walk the feet wide. Really bend your knees. I just really want to encourage you to let your upper body hang here. And you might sway and swing. Okay, I just want to get a little twisty with you here. Okay, so I'll turn slightly just to show you where we're headed. So our feet are still about mat width, okay? And our toes are pointed forward, so our feet are parallel. And let's walk the hands over by the left foot. So your hands are near your left foot. If it's possible, get your right hand to grab the outer edge of your left foot. So right hand holds your ankle, the outer edge of your left ankle. So right hand holds left ankle. And just let your head hang. Look over at your right foot. And maybe the left hand comes to the right ankle. Maybe not. Maybe it just stays on the floor. So step 1, right foot to left ankle. Maybe step 2, left hand to right ankle. And then you can grab your ankles. And I don't want you to be forceful here. I don't want you to cause yourself pain. But could you deepen this little twist with your strong arms? Let's hold and breathe here for a little while. Notice what's going on in your legs. Try to keep the spine long. And of course, remember to breathe. Perhaps today, perhaps maybe another day, you twist yourself to look all the way out. at the front of your space. Should always feel good, never feel bad. Remember to keep a long neck here. And as you're ready, we'll walk hands back to center. So walk your hands through center and then walk your hands over by your right foot. Maybe this is enough. Maybe you just stay right here. This is actually kind of nice just to be right here. Maybe your left hand grabs the outer edge of your right ankle and you can just hang here with this first step on the journey. Or maybe the right hand also goes over to the left ankle. Maybe here is enough, or maybe you use your hands to deepen your twist. Remember to be gentle, never forceful. Always breathe. Backs of the legs opening up, nice twist. Let's let this go. So bring your hands back to center. And from here, let's just come down to hands and knees. So I'm just going to have you bend your knees, come down to hands and knees, and then sit your hips off to one side. So we're coming down to a seat. Let's take the right leg out long. So send your right leg out to the right and really tuck your left foot in. So if you can look at your left foot and grab your heel, kind of so that your sole of your foot is flipping up. You're looking at the bottom of your foot and the top of your foot is flipped down toward the floor. And we want to scooch it in so much that your left knee is pointed away from your right knee. So we can call this like a half straddle. If it's hard for you to sit up straight, maybe you're not comfortable, you don't feel like this posture is opening up for you, no problem. Just put a bend in your right knee. Okay? As a matter of fact, even if you can fully extend your right knee with no problem, keep a little micro bend in it. Flexing that right foot. Let's go. Let's take this right hand to the left hip. Okay, left arm up and over. So big breath in here. You're grounding into your left hip. I want you to really press down into your left hip. Feel how the left side grows long. Keep that length left and right. As you exhale, reach to the right and just pause where you feel that the left hip might start to come off the floor. Okay, a little resistance from your left side. That's all right. Come up on your inhale. Get long again. Down in the left hip, up in the left fingers. Remember your giraffe neck, okay? Again, exhale to the right. Again, inhale, bring it up. One last time. Exhale to the right. Ground into that left hip. Hold here and breathe. We have options, okay? Option A, we can take the right elbow and put it on your right thigh so you have kind of a little prop, okay? A little buttress. And here you can just breathe and open up into the left side, grounding that left hip. Okay, we want to feel good all across the left low back and outer hip. Maybe you want a little more. You can put your right elbow on the floor inside that right knee, and then you can press your right elbow into your right knee and open up your upper body, peeling that chest open to the ceiling. Option C, some of you can take your left fingers to your right toes, and you can take your left shoulder down inside, your right shoulder inside your right knee. But same idea, don't lose the left hip on the floor. Don't lose the length in your spine or your neck. Keep breathing. As you're ready, we're coming up. So I like to put the left fingers on the floor here and press up. Come on up. Okay, let's keep going on this kind of little journey that we've got for ourselves. So we'll pick up this right foot. We're picking it up. I want you to stack it on top of your left knee. We need to move the left foot a little bit forward so it's under that right knee. So you've got your two legs stacked, okay? Some people call this double pigeon. Some people call it stacked logs. There's a Sanskrit name for it that I forgot. But we're here and we need flexed feet. So really flex your ankles, please. Be super picky with your flexed ankles. If you need to back out and just take it easy, lean back on your fingers, okay? If you're feeling pretty good here and you really want to open up in the hips, because that's what we're about to do, we're about to get deep into your hips, what you're going to do is sit up nice and tall. Hip bones are equally heavy, okay? Two glutes equally heavy on the mat. And you're going to think of pressing your legs toward each other. Don't be tempted to use your hands to do it. Let your legs do it on their own, okay? The floor is helping, gravity is helping, and you have time and breath on your side. So close your eyes, long spine. Breathe into your hips. Press those legs together, just with the strength of the legs themselves. Okay, so inner and outer hip here, feeling a whole lot going on. If you're feeling pretty good here, you don't have a lot of resistance, there's no pain, you can walk your fingertips forward and lean forward over your legs. Make sure your heart is leading the way and you still have a long neck and spine. You may feel this posture soften up a lot over time, or you might not. Try not to have any expectations and just enjoy whatever's happening. Make sure it feels good. It's possible your fingers might just walk all the way out in front of you. In that case, you can use that to your advantage and press into your fingertips, grounding your hips more effectively. Notice how that feels in your low back. We'll take several more breaths here, friends. Just enjoying the benefits of this beautiful posture. Take your time peeling yourself up out of this. Okay, a couple more stops here. Let's pull this right foot even further. So we're going to continue the right leg's journey. Pull it further out to the left so that your knees can come close. And something you can do here is to take your knees and actually push them together with your hands. Try that. Taking your feet close to your hips will make this more gentle, okay? So you can really scoot your feet in right next to your hips to start off really gently, and maybe you move more deeply into it over time. So get those knees close. Make sure your right hip is on the floor. Notice how it wants to come up, right? Same idea here. Let's start with fingertips down, long spine. We can always lean back if we need to just back out. Just breathe. Okay. Notice how your hips are feeling. Okay, we're deep in the hips now. So I want to offer you some options. If you want to pull your feet further away from you, you can move more deeply into the posture. I wouldn't take them past your knees, okay? I'd say level with your knees would be quite enough for just about anyone. And possibly the fingertips walk forward. Remember to pay attention to what your hips want here. Let go of your expectations and just listen to your body. Maybe fingertips press the hips more firmly into the floor. And then I want to play around a little bit with this. Can we play a little bit? Let's walk the fingers over to the right and get a little twist. So fingers walk over to the right. You can even put your left hand on your right knee and look over your right shoulder. Little twist. Okay, if this feels nice and you want to go kind of deep in there today, you can walk your fingers away from your body and see if you can bring your left elbow to your left foot, okay? It's kind of funky. Try it out. Left elbow to left foot. If you got it, you can put your palms together and really twist. All right, walk yourself up out of this. And we're going to walk our hands all the way over to the left. Another little twist here. You can make it gentle, keeping your hands close to your body. Or you can deepen it by walking the hands very far away. Maybe right elbow to the right foot. Maybe palms together. And deepen that twist. All right, let's bring all of that back to center. And we're going to switch sides. So if you lean back on your hands, you can untangle your legs. And let's shake them out a little bit. They're probably a little bit noodly. That was a lot on one side. Notice how you're feeling. Let's do the other side. So now the left leg will be the long leg. It'll be out there. We'll start it as far away as we can get it. The right leg will be bent with that right foot tucked really in close to you. I want you to feel like you're in kind of a straddle with the two knees pointing away from each other. Put a little bend in that left knee, even if you don't need to. Just bend it a little bit, okay? Left hand to right hip, right arm up, long spine inhale. Press into that right hip, and exhale, reach to the left. Again, just like that. Big breath in, coming up. Big exhale, reaching over. One more, please. Come on up. And come on over. Hold here and breathe. Maybe left elbow to left thigh. Right? Maybe left elbow to the floor. Maybe left shoulder to the inside of that left thigh, okay? But make sure we're grounding that right hip. It's so challenging to keep it grounded. It really wants to come up. So long neck, please. Maybe you touch those left toes with your right fingers, but you haven't lost that spaciousness around your ears and your long spine. Remember to breathe. Janu Shirsasana is what this posture is called. It's called the king of postures. Okay? It's so good for your body. And let the magic of the posture just work here. We're ready to come up, so you might use those right fingers to press the floor and help yourself up. Okay, now the left leg is on a journey, so let's bend that left knee, bring the left foot, put it on top of the right knee, and stack your knees and ankles. So make sure ankles and knees are stacked, the lower legs are stacked, hips are level and even on the floor. We have a long spine here, just breathing. In your double pigeon, maybe fingers are walking forward. Sometimes the second side is easier. Sometimes it's completely different. It's really not a problem either way, is it? So just enjoy. Try to squeeze the two legs together. Maybe on the second side, the elbows come down. Who knows? Flex those feet. Flex them, flex them. Start to walk your hands back up by your hips here. Okay, one more posture. We'll take it to a Gomukhasana, so a cow face pose. So if you pull this left foot all the way to the right to complete its journey, we can maybe take some time to get the knees close together. Sometimes it takes a little extra effort. You have to pick your hips up maybe, move your feet in close to your hips. Do what you have to do. Once the knees are close, then you can kind of settle in and make adjustments. So make the spine long, hips are equally heavy. Maybe the feet move away. Who knows? Just breathe. Okay, again, bring in that idea of trying to squeeze the legs together. And we'll twist, turning first out to the left. Okay, maybe keeping it gentle with the hands close to your legs. Maybe walking the hands out further away. Maybe getting right elbow to the bottom of that right foot. Only if you want that deep stretch. And we can walk the hands out to the other side. Get a different twist. Hands out to the right. Close to your body for a gentle twist, far away from your body for a deep twist, and maybe elbow to knee or elbow to arch, elbow to arch. You can hug it on there, palms together, deep in that twist. Let's bring all of that back in. Go ahead and untangle your legs. Shake them out a little bit. Notice how they're feeling. And then it's time to come all the way down. So come down, find your resting posture, and rest. Extend your arms and legs. Breathe through your nose. And let your body soak up the magic of your practice. Effortless, soft, and still. You take a few moments being with yourself. Experience this moment. Please keep resting like this for as long as you can. Thank you so much for joining me.